Okay, so what up, guys? This is your boy Gabi. I am the founder and creator of Slap Punch Manga. Slap Punch Manga is a company that was created by a group of people joining together to make manga or comics. So if you want to research us, you can. We're on Facebook. We're a group like around 12 people. And we are currently looking for more manga artists or comic book artists to join the fray. So if you want to look that up, go ahead. And today we're going to be talking about the art of paneling, or how many panels do I use per page, so on and so on. So if you see this page right here, it is a total of 8 panels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the rule that I gave myself was that don't pass 8 panels on one pages, then everything becomes kind of cluttered. You can see here there's a little bit more face shots, and that's because there's a couple of dialogues just going on with the word bubbles and stuff, So alright, and throughout the video, I am just going to be filling in the ink of this page while I am talking, basically. So, paneling, it all depends on what type of manga you're making or you want to create, or comic. I say manga, but manga and comic is basically the same thing. It's just being created by different parts of the world. If you're Japanese, they use the word manga. If you're Western, you use comics. Comic heroes and manga heroes are basically the same thing. It's just different aspects due to the different part of the world. Like I said, Goku could be called a superhero because he does save the world. He does save people, even though his means is that he wants to become even stronger. That's all due to cultural preferences, pretty much. But to me, Superman and Goku is basically two sides of the same coin. A lot of people might say no, but that's the way I see it. Even though my boy Goku is Goku, and that's just hands down. But yeah, what I'm coming with today, basically, is showing you different type of panelization that you can use throughout your story, throughout your manga, throughout your comic that you want to create, basically. I am using a page from my original manga or comic called Me the Mumby. It is a action, adventure, drama, comedy type manga or comic. And pretty much, yeah. Now, sometimes I use one whole big panel for the whole page. Sometimes I split them up. I put it into several panels. I put 3, I put 2, I put one big panel. I put 8. 8 is like the maximum level that I want to put in, just due to the fact that you always have sound effects, you have speech bubbles, you have backgrounds to actually fill in. The background that you see right here, they're inside of an old abandoned house. That's where you see all the cracks and all like the little scratches going on, basically. So, you have to take all of that into consideration for when you're actually planning out the panels. And another secret that I want to give is that if you're doing speeches or any type of panels, people will like to see different angles of your character, different angles, different type of positions, so they can really get a feel of what that character looks like. I'm not going to sit here and make the same panel with him looking forward this way on that same angle. So just imagine if I were to have, see, this is him, and this is him. And let's say I'll to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 panels of him looking forward. It doesn't really bring too much to the table, It's like you're looking at the same image. They pretty much gives out kind of like the characteristics that he was just like copied and pasted on there. And people just admire different sense of artwork from the artist. So always keep that in mind, because that's always good. And when it comes to actually making characters, you don't have to make them look Asian, or you don't have to make them look what the essential manga characters look like. You can have them different shape, forms, and sizes, different ethnicity, They don't all have to look white with a Asian type feel. I mean, basically, let's cut it. We're not in Japan. If you are, then hey, go ahead. That is your cultural background. But if you're Arabic, it would be pretty cool to see a manga character or superhero or a protagonist that looks pretty much like an Arabic does. And I think that's something really, really cool to bring to the table. And yeah, so pretty much this is what I want to go by. Right now, if you're wondering what type of pen I am using, this is going to be a Sakura Micron Pigma pen. And if you want to know what size I use, this is the 01. Basically, I do the 01 for the whole panel, even the background. It's just for like the characters. If the character has minor details, or you drew the characters in like far perspective, and you still want to show like their eyes, their face, their type of facial features, I will use the 005, which is a pen smaller than this one, so it's for like a lot of details, and that will be actually good. But yeah, going back to paneling, like I said, it's always good to plan out the panels. It's always good for you to have a storyboard. If you don't know what is storyboarding or how to storyboard, I actually have a video on that, so you can go ahead and look at that aspect before jumping into actually paneling, which is something different. And storyboarding actually helps you out a lot when you're paneling, because that way you can figure out what type of size panel you want, what position you want your character to be in inside of that panel. So I always advise people to go and storyboard, and it's not like if the storyboard is the final product. It's not, because you can switch around what the character looks like, or what the character is saying, how you are portraying a character on that panel at the end of the day, because it's not in fine print. But now when you take the paper and actually put it on the paper, then it becomes the final print. And if you have something on the final print that you don't like, then that's a big no. You should always try to scratch that and make something that you like. So the whole point of it is do something until you like it. If you have a panel that you think looks wrong, you have all the time in the world. There's nobody waiting for you, unless you have a deadline, then that's something different. But I have no deadline, so there's nobody waiting for me. It's just me making my manga at my own time. So you go back and you try to get the best looking position as ever. And one thing about graphics, when it comes to characterization, because I see a lot of people like, oh yeah, I can't draw like such and such, and my art is not up to par with such and such. One thing that I always say about that is that nobody has the same style of drawing. Nobody has the same type of look when it comes to drawing. Just like Dragon Ball Z doesn't look like One Piece, and One Piece doesn't look like Naruto. Naruto doesn't look like Bleach, so forth and so forth. And that's one thing that I always tell people, as long as you're happy and that is the maximum that you can give, you can always improve, because everybody can always improve their art. But at the end of the day, if you think that's good enough, go ahead and do it, because most of the time the good enough is actually pretty damn good. So basically, I'm going to be switching back and forth through pages just so you guys can see what different panels I actually have, and what I'm talking about, different panels between speech sizes and between like action panels, so you guys can have a good clear content in your head of what I'm talking about. Right now I'm just trying to panel these 3 panels before switching, so you can get like a good idea of what I'm saying. So when I started off actually doing manga or doing a comic book or even doing the story, I really had no idea how to start. You know, I was just doing my own thing, you know. In my mind, I just wanted to make a manga. I wanted to make a comic book because ever since I was little, I always liked to watch cartoons and anime. And one big inspiration for me was Dragon Ball Z. So, like a lot of people, I was inspired by Akira Toriyama's work, which is Dragon Ball. And me growing up pretty much in a Spanish-speaking country where where a lot of people knows who's Goku, and they don't really call Dragon Ball Z Dragon Ball Z. They call it Goku. So that's how much people know what Goku is. Right here, I am switching the page so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, this is another page of mine. As you can see, this one is going with 5 panels and 1 panel that breaks outside of the panel box. So this would be a full bleed page. This is another style of paneling if you want to go. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, this is when something is happening in the scene. So pretty much the pages move a little bit faster. That's what it basically means. It's something moving a little bit faster. And like I said, you know, you can go ahead and if you actually have an idea for an anime, I always say just go ahead and do it. Don't ever try to, you know, like stay behind, because the more time you take thinking about it, the less you're actually going to do it. Even if you take 30 minutes from your day to actually make the manga or to write out what type of scene you want, it's 30 minutes that you have advanced into actually making something. So it's not going to just stay there. It's not just going to be a topic. It's going to be an actual thing. And that's one thing that we always discuss over there in Slap Punch Manga, that we understand everybody has a schedule. We understand that everybody has life and work and family. And yeah, you know, I mean, that's life. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, we're not in Japan, this is not Japan, and we're not getting paid to actually make manga or comics. This is something that we love to do. So this is a very, very big passion of ours, to actually bring it into real life and trying to show the world pretty much your story. What do you have to tell? What would you like for people to feel? What would you like for people to see coming from your part? So yeah, pretty much. Let me show you another page so I can show you a 2-panel page. So this right here is a 2-panel page that I made the other day. So pretty much, you know, there's something that's going into the story and makes the story advance. The only reason why you see not too much shading, because I don't shade, because I want my manga to be colored, and that's another type of feature. You know, it doesn't always have to be black and gray scales. You can also make your manga in color. So that's actually something very, very different. So yeah, pretty much this is the art of paneling for today. This is your boy Gabi from Slap Punch Manga. If you like the video, hit that like and subscribe button, and peace out.